Day 66 begins, everybody. We're going to make our way into Cairo today, and that'll mean we'll pass the confluence of the Ohio River. This is going to be about a 35-mile river run. It's something we've done before, and the current should give us a good boost. So I don't expect to tax ourselves too badly. It's a little past 9, so not too bad a start in terms of early meter. Jamie's already packed up. His tent is down, and he's got his gear over there by the boat ready to load. There was a camp table that we left set up over by our fire pit. He's already broken that down, so he's well on top of the housekeeping this early morning. I think we're making our way past Cairo to Wickliffe, or I guess it's Wickliffe, might be Wickliffe. It's in Kentucky, but again, this is kind of a new threshold. Passing Cairo, that is the 0 marker, and I know I've been talking about how the lower river begins at St. Louis, and I still kind of feel that way, but in terms of official charts and the Coast Guard and the Army Corps, they all begin the lower river in their estimation at Cairo. So we'll be on into their lower river, and we will get a bunch of volume of water coming through the Ohio. So it'll be more than doubling the volume. I don't think it adds that much to river pace. I expect something pretty similar, but it will be a bigger river, if not wider, deeper, stronger, just more. So this is a big one. From here, it's all downhill, y'all. I guess that's true for the beginning. But we got to pack this thing up and get on the river. Not sure where Jamie is. He took himself a little walk or something. He's off in parts unknown. He might be up in those woods, although I doubt it. Picked up some stickers on his clothes last night that were pretty annoying, so I doubt he'll brave those again. In any case, we'll be on the river probably within 45 minutes. Let's pack it up. There's a light on the horizon, emanating from the bayou. It shouldn't be so surprising. Gotta get there before I come home to you. So Jamie's been found. He crawled out that levee wall and is sitting right there on it. All right, Jamie. Here we go. I still have time to get my stuff together while he's working on whatever it is he's working on, journaling or something. A little private time. But he knows I'm up. We'll get to it in a little bit. Day 66, everybody. I'm learning something new. The loopers have a tendency to convoy up. And that's not universal. There's plenty of loopers that do it solo, just strike out on their own. But we've just had half a dozen of them flow by here gently this morning on about their business, and we wish them well. Godspeed, loopers. We'll see you down in the Gulf. Day 66. We are about 3 hours into the paddle and on our way to Cairo. We'll be cruising on past, but Cairo we will probably see in some sense. We might make our way back there by means other than the river. In any case, leading up to Cairo is among the most distinctive geographic features of the river now. The river's pretty well locked in place. It used to move around all the time. The flow would just cause it to tighten up on oxbows or spread out. I mean, just the hydraulics of rivers is that they're ever changing, but we have it pretty well locked down with riprap right now. The Army Corps kind of seeks to make it static when it really wants to keep moving. But in any case, we currently have, and we will, oh, that's interesting, refresh rate on this. What's diagonal lines on this? I'm taking a shot of Google Maps of where we are. You see the blue dot where we are. That space that's centered now is Cairo, but that little double switchback is just something you don't see too much on the river, and big sweeping bends. We're starting on the outside of the second bend now, so it seemed a reasonable place to call it to y'all's attention. I have a couple of little nicknames for this space. I haven't voiced it, but I draw from sports. I kind of mentioned it there, and it's an antiquated term now that there's a DL in the National League, but double switch is something I kind of think of as this. And a little more obscurely, if you get into European auto racing, I call this the S's. They'll put in little switchbacks on straightaways, essentially, just to bring speeds down a little bit. It's a safety measure more than anything else. But here we are. We're in the middle of this. I mentioned this is among the most distinctive. I consider this the second. We're coming up on the first, probably within this next week, or barring any sort of strange thing that keeps us from paddling. But we'll point that out when we get to it. It's coming up soon. But here we are in the S's, leading up to Cairo, 3 hours into the day. Might be about a 7-hour day to get the 35 miles we're aiming for. About 5 miles an hour, including the little breaks that we're taking just to refresh our arms and our minds. But yeah, that's what we're looking at. Talk to you when something else cool happens, probably when we reach Cairo. Day 66, everybody. Here we are. This is the tip of Cairo right here. So just beyond that little point of land is the Ohio River as it enters the Mississippi. We see this is Fort Defiance. I think it's a state park for Illinois, but this was a military fort at some point. Was this a Civil War fort? I don't even know what Fort Defiance was.
Yeah, probably.
So anyway, it was some manner of fort at some point, and Cairo was some manner of city at some point, and there's not much left. We hope to get you some footage of downtown Cairo because it's really pretty remarkable what it is now relative to what you can imagine it having been just based on what's left. We got a barge passing us here now, and this is the first time. We're not entirely clear what they're doing. We figure they're going down the Mississippi, but they might hang them a Louis and go right up the Ohio. We don't know. So we're just kind of getting out of the way for a little bit, let them decide what they want to do and telegraph it to us. Then we're going to get back underway. We got about 4.5 river miles right along the Kentucky, let me say that again, the Kentucky shore up to Wickliffe. We're going to put foot on Kentucky soil today, and we'll raise a glass in the honor of making Kentucky when we get ashore or to a Mexican restaurant we're told is in town. Okay then, catch you in a bit. On a boat ramp, folks. A whole bunch of commercial work being done around here. And what state is this?
Kentucky.
State of Kentucky, boys and girls. True adventurers succeed. I lost track of how many states we have hit, but
6.
This is one more on our list. 6? This makes 6?
I think this is 6.
All right. We don't know exactly what we're going to find in this town. We understand there's a Mexican restaurant and a gas station and obviously a boat ramp. Sure is a tall one. We're going to have to lug our stuff up there. But we'll get to that in a sec. Okay, Kentucky, day 66.